All right, ladies and gents, we are back again after our EMI management control build or control panel rebuild. This cover right here is different from the first one that I cut. Wasn't 100% pleased with it and made a couple changes. We made the relief cuts for the bends longer and we left less material so it was easier to bend. We opened up these vents here. You could actually see the fan in there from the power supply. We got a nice vent down the bottom. These are like 4mm width, and we have 5 slots. This fits so nice, it just press fit on. There's nothing holding this on right now, no screws or anything. I was thinking about getting some latches and getting that clipped on, but this came out fantastic. So, since our last two cuts went so good, the 2 doors, which basically those were the last 2 cuts, and now we're here. We still have the aluminum on the table, and there was something that I cut before that was an absolute disaster. I want to try to cut it again. And it is this Cowboys football helmet and football together. And it looked like it would have been really nice for a friend of mine. But unfortunately, again, the start and stops of the table and the interruptions were just too much. And the cut ended up being really bad. And lining it back up was terrible. So we're gonna I ran this dry just to make sure that we have enough material here and we're not running off of the plate. There is a little bit of a bow in it, so we're gonna have to push it down once we get to certain areas, but I'm gonna put this on a time lapse and hopefully everything goes as planned, no hiccups. We're running the same. This is my last 0.9 tip. I have more in order. This tip seems to be perfect for 40 amps cutting. It cuts very precise. It's a nice small beam of plasma that comes out. It's really nice. Again, 0.9 on the tip. We're 40 amps. We're about 50-55 psi on the air. And I think our feed rate has stayed the same. It's like 2,000 millimeters a minute or something like that. I forget what it is, but I can go back and check in the post processor or on sheet cam and see exactly what that is. Let you guys know. But we're gonna switch to time lapse. See if we can get through this cut. This way we're not dragging out the videos because I'm having a tough time with memory and all that stuff. So we're going to cut this out, cut it back in on a time lapse. All right, ladies and gents, we just did a pretty intricate cut, I think it is, and that went buttery smooth. It was spectacular. I can't be any happier right now. That went so well. Oh, this was something that I cut out. I cut it out on a smaller scale, maybe 8 inches or 10 inches high originally, and we just went through this cut like butter. This came out amazing. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, it is sharp. We didn't have one hiccup at all. No issues whatsoever. The cut is amazing. I sped up the feed a little bit more this time, and you can see, I mean, it looks just phenomenal. Look at the front of this cut. This is, we are in the business. We are in the business. Look at that sign. Oh, look at that. I mean, look at the cut. Look at the detail. That 0.9 tip, look how sharp that is. Incredible. Look at that. Oh, that is awesome. This was a nice big, that is a nice sign right there. The size is 24, I think. Yeah, I sized it for 24 by roughly 18 high. And this came out an absolute stunner. And check out the garage. We kept the water table nice and high, and we cut away. No issues whatsoever. No hiccups. No stopping. No freezing. Nothing. No issues at all. The torch performed great, as it always does. But now we have ourselves a reliable setup here. Super reliable. Hands down. We fixed it. We turned something that was okay into something that is just phenomenal. It's great. So I know there was a lot of bashing going on out there on the forums about that ESP32, using that for the CNC stuff. It's probably a little bit more finicky than the other controllers, and but I think that isn't anything that we can't plow through with proper wiring and grounding. As you can see, things have made a turn here for the good. It was getting pretty grim there for a while, but man, this looks great. The back of the cut looks great. Everything looks just great. Look at that. On some of these, there's little to there's nothing on here. Nothing. Like this will come right off. Look at that. Comes right off. There is just, my new go-to is this aluminum here. So when I went to Fazio's, you know, there's all different types of aluminum out there. But when I went to Fazio's, I spoke to a guy in the back. And I said, hey, he says, oh, I said, do me, you know anything about aluminum? Look how clean that's coming out. Look at that. Oh, just a little bit of the tip there. Just the tip. And that gets cleaned up incredibly well. This looks amazing. Even this is a little bit heavier drops here. It looks like it was heavier drops, but look at that. I mean, that is just beautiful cut. It's a beautiful. I'm so happy right now that I didn't waste a piece of metal. Ah, this is gonna be so enjoyable. This is so much fun when the table actually works the way it's supposed to. I can't be any happier. I'm gonna clean this up, and yeah, this looks great. Super happy. Guys, you seen it here? We fixed it. This is something that everybody should do. JV's Garage should dish it out in their instructions as part of almost like a revision or whatever. And this thing is bulletproof. We're good to go. The only thing we got to battle now is my own issue with that compressor right there. So right now I'm running the same circuit is running my plasma cutter. It's also running my compressor. How am I able to do that? Well, I fill up the compressor to 150 pounds, and then I shut the autofill off then I run the cut, and we don't have to keep running the compressor. My solution to that for now is I have a 50-gallon, or excuse me, a 75-gallon hot water tank that was still good. I gutted the exterior of it, and I'm going to put that as an auxiliary tank outside and backfeed it through my air line there, and it'll act as more reservoir. But man, look at this cut. Look at this. Oh, I am so pleased. I'm super excited right now. I'm sure you guys are too, especially the people that are probably having problems with the table and they can't get answers. I'm hoping that this resolved a lot of things for people and put a lot of tables in service. Because I know I was close to, oh God, I was close to kicking this thing outside or just putting some plywood over top of it and using it as a shop table. Although we wouldn't have went that route. We would have just changed the controller out. But man, I'm so excited. Look at that cut. Oh, so excited, and I'm really happy with the way this turned out too, with the detail in here, and the corners and everything like that. You know, having less tabs, and this bent right up as soon as I reduced the number of reduced the surface area of the bend, and kept the metal. You know, I only have maybe an inch of metal total on this side, which holds fine. This is completely fine. You know, and we did this cut and we didn't even ground the door yet. But the rest of the box is grounded, obviously. But we didn't ground the door yet to the rest of the enclosure. But it is grounded to the enclosure because it's metal on metal. So it's there, right? But I want to make sure we're grounded. We're going to put a little hole, you know, drill it, put a tab through there or a bolt with another eyelet and run it to that grounding bus. Super excited. This worked out great. I hear nightmares about cutting aluminum, but I'll tell you what, I think I like cutting aluminum nicer than better than the steel. And I think I'm going to get some more sheets of this stuff. I don't remember exactly how much this sheet cost me, but like I said, when I went to Fazio's, I told them exactly what I was doing. There's different types of aluminum. Some are brittle, all depends. So that guy knew what he was doing there. I asked him what type of aluminum. I'll try to grab my, I'll try to get my Fazio slip together. I have an account there, they can look it up too. So I think I'm gonna make another run, grab some more aluminum. These signs look amazing. I could see these selling all day long. Especially in this size right here. And it being aluminum, it's easy to manage. We can color it. We can do all kinds of stuff. I'm crazy excited right now. The next thing to do is clean up the shop. So we got some bikes here. The Vulcan we fixed. It's all repaired, ready to go. All three of these bikes are for sale. I may do a raffle on them to try and get rid of them, you know, something like that. But we got to get the shop organized. We got stuff everywhere. We have projects that we just finished up, and we got flex duct in here and wood from patching. I want to finish up this Ford sign. I want to get another Ford sign cut, or I just had an idea. I'm going to cut this Ford sign out of this aluminum here because it looks awesome. It looks awesome. This is just awesome. This is just incredible. Incredible. Big thank you to Corvette Guy 50. And his videos, super informative. Lincoln Electric and their manual. JD's Garage. They did a phenomenal job. All in all, you know, with the assembly of the table. Just a couple tweaks you got to work out, but that's part of being in a community, and you know, everybody bouncing all their problems and tips and tricks off of each other. And I think we got this licked. This is a done deal. So I hope this helps everybody. We could take another look at the controller, but I did do another video on it. I'm going to do a separate video just focusing on the internals of the controller in case you guys want to follow the exact wiring that I did. I'll do that in just a direct, stay on topic controller video. So, guys, thanks again. Appreciate you hanging in there with us. Like, subscribe. We'll try to build the channel. We'll try to do some cuts. If you guys want the file for the enclosure and you have some aluminum and your table's like running but not really running like the way mine was, and you're able to cut it, I'll be more than happy to send those out. I also, as a token of my appreciation, everyone who's liked and subscribed so far, I want to do, if you're building a table, this is probably to your advantage, I want to do a giveaway of the 3D printed parts for the table. So that'll include all these, the tensioners, it'll include the bearing captures, it'll include the pieces for the 3D printed pieces for the Z-axis, the tensioners up top, all that stuff. Basically all the 3D printed parts I'll put together in a package and we'll do a giveaway. I'll figure out how to do that. Pick somebody at random that's subscribed. Let's get the likes and subscribes up. I think I need to hit like 1,000 subscribers or something like that in order to, you know, make any kind of funds, which would be nice. You know, and keep this thing rolling. This is really cool. I want to start doing some builds and fabrication with this thing. So I'm trying to think of projects to do. Stuff I know I need to do stuff around the house, especially with the vehicles out back. I was fiddling around with the idea of making a transmission mount for the OBS, 92 OBS Ford, because that is kind of that trans mount there is on the outs. So we may be messing around with some FreeCAD, some measurements, and do little projects like that too. But for now, we're going to keep cutting some good stuff, and we're going to make sure we can keep cutting. That is the goal. I'm going to keep cutting and cut and cut and cut until failure. Well, hopefully we don't want to see failure, but this is phenomenal. Again, 0.9 on the tip, 50 psi, 40 amps, travel speed. Let's see what our travel speed is. I believe it's in here. Yeah, there you go. Our feed rate is 2,000 millimeters a minute. So that's where we're at, 2,000 millimeters a minute. All of this lead in and lead out, I left it the same as running the 1. It's either 1.1 or 1.10 tip. That I don't really need to change at all. That seems to be fine. The kerf is I left the same. That doesn't seem to make a huge difference. It probably will make a difference in sizing when I do more intricate pieces, which I noticed on something like this when we cut the door. So it's allowing for the bigger tip, and you know, this tip is obviously not cutting away as much material, but I think this is the way to go. You get a more precise cut, more cleaner, finer, detailed cut, especially for stuff like this. I will knock these out all day long. This is great. I can get so many of these out of one sheet. It'll just go like butter, you know. So I'm gonna try to find more files like this, different teams and things like that. You know, just stuff like that. You know, like man cave stuff. I really want to try to get into some parts, some parts that are not manufactured anymore, or hard to get to, or super expensive. Stuff like that. So we'll do some digging if you guys have any ideas or want to see anything happen with the table. The only place we're going from here is up. This is just going to get unbelievably better. Like I said in previous videos, we're going to set up some limits on this side. We'll chain them or link them into the opposite limit, so this way we have hard limits in either direction. I want to put one on the back side too. You know, another thing we're going to do, as you can see, I have the cart here, which I don't like the cart. What I think we're going to do is we're going to put some 2x2 tube steel underneath of the existing 2x2 tube steel, and we're going to have almost like an extension of the table that could slide out and hold the sheet up, and it'll seem like it'll be the same height as the table, as the plasma table itself, but on the, you know, we're going to have it the same, probably the same length as this, or at least 4 foot minimum, and then those bars will slide out the same way you have like an expandable table, like dining room table or kitchen table. I want to try to do the same thing, slide that out, put a full sheet on there, and then as I cut, do the same thing. I'm starting, you know, I started to get use the edge of the sheet a lot, so what I did was I cut the remaining off. I hung it off the table, and then I ran the machine manually, not manually by hand, but I fired the torch with the program, set the jog rate, and then I'll just turn the torch on and I cut right through, and I could do a, what I call a manual cut. So yeah, this is fantastic. Like I said, the first door we cut went well. The revision we cut went really good, and this just went buttery smooth. And that tip that I have on there has been used for quite some time now, for all these cuts. I thought the point of failure was going to be that tip, but we made it through, and everything is great. I'm so excited right now. I hope you guys are too. I hope this helps someone out there that's having issues with their table, or maybe they have another table, you know, even a brand name table or whatever you want to call it, that they're having problems with. Maybe people can't figure it out. We can figure it out together, and we want to document it, make sure everybody can get a table that's operating. This is a really good feeling to have a table that's not being interrupted by anything, and we just get right through the cut. So this is great. Any feedback you guys gave me already, I appreciate everything. I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the subscribes. If there's any questions that I can answer, please just wing them out there. Feel free, and I'll do my best to answer them. And again, if you guys got any feedback, tips, tricks, whatever, shoot them out there. Again, thanks again. Stick around. We're going to do more cutting. We'll see you.